Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Srikanth, pulmonologist from Coimbatore. Um, I know that there's a lot of information coming about coronavirus in the last few days. All the channels, social media have been dominated by the news on coronavirus. This video I thought is regarding a very, very important aspect which I thought I should be sharing with all of you. That is the role of chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine in the management of coronavirus. I have been receiving a barrage of queries for the last few days whether this drug can be used by everyone for the treatment or prevention of this dangerous infection. So first we need to understand that this drug chloroquine or hydroxychloroquine is not yet approved by US FDA for routine use in corona infections. All that US FDA has said is to initiate clinical trials on using these drugs to check whether these drugs are effective in coronavirus or not. Of course, a number of trials are going on all over the world to find out which combo works well. Out of them, chloroquine, hydroxychloroquine is one of them. However, the Indian Council of Medical Research, that is ICMR, has approved the usage of these drugs as a preventive therapy for certain high-risk groups who are very vulnerable to develop coronavirus infections. They include doctors, nurses, paramedics, and all other health professionals who may be involved in the management of coronavirus infection. Also, close contacts and family members of patients who have been diagnosed with coronavirus infections also fall into the same category. Now, we have very little data available about the efficacy of chloroquine and hydrochloroquine. Although the drugs have been in the market for a long time in the usage of malaria and rheumatoid arthritis and other connective tissue disorders, there is only one trial which has come from France where they have used this drug for coronavirus infection. It's a very, very small study of just 32 patients, and it showed that the group which received the drug seemed to be faring better than the other group. Now, all of you will agree with me when I say that 32 is such a small number that any kind of conclusion cannot be drawn with this number, and we need a much larger, randomized, well-designed, robust clinical trials to clearly understand whether chloroquine, hydroxychloroquine would be a good drug in the treatment of coronavirus infection. So till that point of time, I think it's very important to understand we should not be indiscriminately taking these drugs, and that would be very, very dangerous. In fact, I would even say that the risk of taking these drugs without medical monitoring indiscriminately would be much more than the danger caused by corona infection itself. What has happened is there has been a spate of indiscriminate buying and hoarding of these drugs in the last few days in India. And I request all of you not to do this because these drugs are still not approved and it has to be given only on a select groups, and that too with a medical prescription. Also, I request all the pharmacists not to give this drug as an OTC. It's strictly a drug which has been given under medical prescription. And we all know that chloroquine has side effects like gastric irritation, cardiac toxicity has been reported, and long-term use can also cause visual problems. And the usage of chloroquine, hydroxychloroquine in diabetic patients has to be with caution. So with all this, I would like to reiterate that the US FDA has not yet approved this for routine use in corona infection. It has only given a go-ahead for doing clinical trials. And once clinical trials are done, we will probably know whether this works or not. So what do we do now? All we need to do is sit back, relax at home, watch your favorite movie, listen to the music you like, spend quality time with your family. And I think that's the most important measure we now have to do, because the next 2 weeks is going to be extremely critical in India. There is a high possibility that the infection may spread very fast, and if more people get infected, there are more sick people going to get admitted in the hospital, and a proportion of them would land up in the ICU, and a proportion of that would end up in ventilators, and that would be extremely dangerous situations. And given the infrastructure, I don't think any country can handle a very large number of these patients, and we really hope that all of you, if you stay back home, we will have less patients coming to the hospital. Thank you.